Welcome to another Diesel Nation presentation.
I Diesel back here, and I'm a little pissed off this time because I'm watching this video. I come across this video, and this person is so famous. They were at Disney. They had like a bunch of people come. Like, hey, can I take pictures with you? Blah blah blah. Hey, on you're that dude that dresses on like a female. All right, still got male genitalia. All right, but hey, we love you. We love you. All right, now this person has millions of followers, more than I do, because I won't bend, and I won't, I don't play this. I don't play the shit. All right, I have a song that I have written, called the Wood Chipper, and I have tried to push it through, and for my distributors are like, it's a little too graphic. All right, I've made the videos, and some of you guys have seen some videos, but those are the ones on the corporation on Let's Through. Other ones, they're like too graphic. But you can go out and hurt a child, and that's not graphic. You can come up with freaking code words on like pizza and stuff, and don't tell me that pizza is not code word. Man, or if you want to go out and be a post smoker, you want to go out and be a carpet licker, do what you want. All right, but don't go after the 6 or 7 years old. All right, because you can't find adults who want to be, or who agree with your stuff. Right, on the little kids are flocking to you guys because, oh, look, on their influencer on TikTok, or their influencer on YouTube or something like that. Oh, I love on what you do and what you stand for. I just don't stand for what you stand for. And just as much as you have every right, to post your sick ass shit, okay, I have every right to tell you how I feel about it. I'm not happy about your stuff. And I feel like this, on these two videos on that I'm going to show you on, and that's not right. You cannot go after the children. And if you watch these videos and tell me that they are not going after the children, well, then you tell me what the heck that is, because that's one step above Barney right here. So watch this thing and tell me what you think.
Trans women can produce milk. Let's look at the science. When a trans woman like me takes estrogen, after a few years, I too will have the ability to produce milk. And the milk itself is safe and nutritious. And an added bonus, if there happens to be, say, 2 parents in the household, one cisgender mom who gave birth to the kid and another transgender mom, if both parents can breastfeed, that takes such a big burden off of one of the moms.
Today we're learning about lesbians. Can you say lesbian? Good job! How can a transgender woman be a lesbian? Great question. Let's put on our thinking caps. Time for a pop quiz. The first question says, what do you call a trans woman who only likes women? Oh, I know this. They're a lesbian. The second question says, what do you call a trans woman who only likes men? I know this. They're straight. A+. Good job, everyone. Can you say cisgender? Good job. But what does cisgender mean? When somebody is born, the doctor gives them a hat. Which hat you get is a really big deal because it tells the world a lot about you. Hopefully the hat that the doctor gives you fits. But for transgender people like me, it just doesn't. And we don't want to wear this uncomfortable hat for the rest of our lives. So to feel happier, we take off the hat the doctor gave us and put on a new one that fits us perfectly. Cisgender people are the opposite. The hat the doctor gave them fits perfectly the first time. Some people think that trans and cis are bad words, but they're not. They're just opposites, like up or down.
All right, you've seen it. Does it look like like grade school? Hey, today we're going to learn about this word. Today, can you say, oh, that's so great? No, never. if my son or my daughter was in a school and that's the kind of stuff that they're teaching, I would be down there and I would be bringing the wood chipper. I'm telling you. Why don't you, instead of trying to make videos of that, why don't you teach these kids on how to make change? And they can't even go to McDonald's and you give them the exact change, for something, or like, and they'll look at you like, because they don't know. If the cash register don't tell them what to do. I had a lady had to count out dimes to me, because she don't know how to give like 56 cents. All right, 10, 20, 30. Holy smokes, woman. Or how about the ones out on that stand and look at you, all right, and you have to tell them this is how much you give me back. Those are the ones you need to help. You don't need to teach these kids about being lesbians, or you don't need to teach these kids about, the other crap. Leave them alone. They're not yours to do that with. That's sick. And that's far as what you're trying to do is push your fetish, yes, fetish, off on somebody else. Like you say, oh, maybe that little kid needs to wear a different hat, or maybe the hat don't fit, and that's so stupid. When my little boy was growing up, he thought he was Spider-Man, and I'm like, if I would have taught him, you are Spider-Man, then that's how he would have grew up. You are grooming these kids to think, hey, it's okay to want to chop off your privates or wrap your breast, You're teaching these people like the guys are going into the women's sports because they can't beat the men inside their own sports. You can't tell me that shit. Man. And I know I'm going to catch so much slack over this video, all right? And but I don't care. I'm going to say what I want. I'm sure people send me other comments and stuff like that, but it just really surprises me that we live in a world now where that kind of crap is okay. That kind of crap is accepted. Back in my day, they would put people like that away. Or if my mom and dad would have taken me to drag shows and shit like that, they would have been like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And they would have been taking us away. They would have been putting my parents in jail, or anybody's parents. No. But today we've got sing-alongs. Hey, can you say lesbian? Can we say mentally ill? Oh, but don't say that, Diesel. All right? Because that'll make you a racist. But it's funny because they drop that R word so quick, racist, but they don't even know what it means. All right? They just drop it. Yeah, and they're sick. They're sick individuals. All right? And I know that there's good people who are in their own sexuality that don't accept those people. They're like, hey, they don't speak for us. But they're out here they're getting paid. They're making thousands of dollars, and they're still coming after the kids. Now, if a kid's going to see my video and I'm going against it, yeah, and they're going to be like, oh, he's, look at this fat old man with the beard, blah, 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 and you don't know. I do know. I know on right from wrong. What this world needs is God. All right? And if you talk about God, holy smokes, people get so angry. I still must be doing something right. I don't talk about God to make people mad. I talk about God to bring people back. And those people, and those kind of people, need to be brought back. You know, it's not my place to judge them. I get that. I'm human also. I don't like it, but I don't like on what they're doing to the children. So, just if you're with me, and if you got the balls, at least click the like button or comment or something. Let me know that I'm not the only one who feels like this. I know people are scared because of backlash or something like that. Or maybe Facebook or YouTube or somebody like that is going to see my videos and be like, hey, this guy is speaking against, we can't say that, Diesel. If you listen to my music, I tell you, hey, I'm going to say on what people are scared to say. Corporations will go anywhere, and that's with anything, you know. And what I mean by that, they'll go with anything on that goes with the flow, to keep on their money coming in. You know, Notre Dame from South Bend, Indiana, or Notre Dame, Indiana, or whatever you want to call it. Notre Dame, big name. Everybody knows Notre Dame. They don't know where South Bend, Indiana is, but they know where Notre Dame is. Oh, I've heard of them, yeah. The football team, yeah, Notre Dame. You know, Notre Dame will celebrate the gay month and stuff like that, and I think, wow, you know, Notre Dame's a Catholic church, and I am Catholic. Okay, and I just don't see it where they, okay, hey, you know, we're going to celebrate that. You know why? Because if Notre Dame says anything, there will be a backlash on like you wouldn't believe. Now, I'm probably going to catch hell about that because there's a lot of Notre Dame fans. I'm not saying that the football team sucks, Roll Tide, you know, but just, it's sick, man. It's freaking sick, you know. And then this guy gets all mad if somebody calls him a guy or something like that. Like, it's so obvious. You know, there's not enough alcohol inside of a bar or last call that would ever make a guy want to go out with you. Holy smokes! And then like so many people say like, well, you know, if you're on your this kind of phobic or this, no, you know, I have no phobics. It's just like, that's just not right. You know, if I'm so glad I'm married onto a biological woman, because biology, you know, on you, no matter what you wear or what you're doing, you still can't change the Y and X, right? It's don't lie. And if these people are saying, hey, you know, I feel like a woman, and then they have to take all this medicine and stuff like that, to you know, like the ones that on one of the videos, like, oh well, eventually, of course, I'm gonna be able to produce milk to help them. You got something wrong. You want to help? You want to help the mom? Change the diaper. Be a dad. Change the diaper. Get up on during the night. You know, you don't need to pump milk out of your breast. That's sick. Freaking sick. My wife and I have raised multiple kids, okay? And never once did she ask me, say, hey, I wish you could pump milk out of your nipples. All right? Can we go back? Can we just go back to where men were men and the women were women, all right? And leave the kids alone. Leave them alone. This world is so, so evil. Alright. Diesel out. Love y'all. I'll go stream my music.
Thanks for watching. See you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and hit that follow and bell so you don't miss anything in the nation.